Hello, Malcolm here. Welcome to Quiet Time Coaching. This is episode 417. Today it's part 3 of our series called Awesome Anna. Awesome Anna from Luke chapter 2 verses 36 to 38. So much here in just a few verses. Let's read the text again. There was also a prophet, Anna, the daughter of Penuel, the tribe of Asher. She was very old. She had lived with her husband 7 years after her marriage, and then was a widow until she was 84. She never left the temple, but worshipped night and day, fasting and praying. Coming up to them, that's the family of Jesus, at that very moment she gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. Wow. What do we learn about Anna's relationship with God? Well, today what I'd like to focus on is the fact that her relationship with God was not diminished by her disappointments, by the tragedies of her life. Anna is described as a widow. She would have been very vulnerable. As far as we know, she had no children. There's no reference to them here. But there is no hint of bitterness in her life. Instead, when she sees this young family and the child, she takes delight. She takes delight in another's joy, another mother's child. How long it took her to get from lamenting her tragedy of her widowhood and perhaps being childless, how long it took her to get to where she was at the time when she meets the family of Jesus, we'll never know. But perhaps her decisive devotion to God was part of her healing. Hanging out at the temple helped her deal with her tragedies. Somebody said, a widow's journey is one of rebuilding, rediscovering herself, and finding a new purpose in life. And perhaps that could be said of all of us that have been through times of tragedy or just significant disappointment. We need to rebuild, rediscover, find a new purpose in life. And what better way is there to do that than to bring our disappointment to God? God cares about the marginalized and those who are going through and have been through great difficulty. Think of the other widows that are mentioned in Scripture, just a few. For example, the widow Zarephath in 1 Kings 17, or the widow of Nain in Luke 7, or the widow with the 2 coins is highlighted in Mark 12 and Luke 21, or the parable about the persistent widow in Luke 18, or of course the whole book of Ruth revolving around a Moabite widow, Ruth. God cares about these people. Anna somehow knew that. Perhaps she reflected on someone like Ruth, and she turns her vulnerability into an opportunity for worship, night and day at the temple. And as a result of that choice of faith, and it is a choice of faith in the end, as a result of that, she's in the right place at the right time to recognize God at work in the baby presented to her, that baby destined to change the world, to change eternity. So what can we take from this? Well, firstly, it's important to be honest about our disappointments with God. He can handle it. If your disappointments are so far providing more of a barrier to your relationship with God than a blessing, then take it to Him, talk it through with Him, cry with Him, lament with Him, be honest with Him. He can help you. He does care. And the second thing to contemplate after that is, what does your difficulty or tragedy or disappointment enable? For Anna, it gave her the space and time to be at the temple more often. What about you? As Tish Warren says in her book, Prayer in the Night, it's better to come to God with sharp words than to remain distant from Him, never voicing our doubts and disappointments. Better to rage at the Creator than to smolder in polite devotion. Well, I hope you find these thoughts helpful. What do you admire about Awesome Anna? I'd love to know. So drop me a line, malcolm@malcolmcox.org. And I hope and pray that between now and the next time, that whatever tragedy or disappointments have come into your life, He'll take them to God and find they provide you an opportunity for greater depth with Him. Take care, and God bless.